Sean Strickland gave another beating to a YouTuber yesterday. If you missed the clip, we're going to watch that here. And I'm going to talk about why this is a dangerous trend for people making this type of content. My name is James Lynch. So Nick Nayersina, who does like different types of content on YouTube, very successful, by the way. He does, he films himself at like frat parties. He does challenges. I guess called out Sean Strickland. I don't know exactly how this all got put together, but I did find this post on Nick's Twitter showing a screenshot of his Instagram where Sean Strickland chimes in and says, "Come train with me and tell me which you'd rather do again." So I think he was doing some sort of challenge here, but it doesn't matter here of how this all got set up. But the point is that this guy, who as far as I know has no combat sports experience, decided to spar with Sean Strickland. So we're going to watch the video, then I'm going to give my thoughts on this after and why I don't think this is a very good idea. And of course we saw this already with Sneeko, the influencer. He sparred Sean Strickland, took a pretty good beating in that one, and a similar thing happened here, which I think was even worse. So let's check this video out. Nick Nayersina, I'm a man of my word. I said I would show up and I did. Thank you for your time. When should I drop the YouTube video? Which again, this guy's doing this all for clout and attention and content, and I think this sets a really bad precedent. So let's just watch the video right here. Strickland not going easy on him, as you can see.
Okay. We gotta quit. Don't run, Nick. Get in the ground, Nick. Don't over it.
Okay, so look, Nick didn't throw a single punch in this exchange here. Like I said, I don't think he has any combat sports experience. This is idiotic, like the title says. This is a guy basically getting his ass kicked for clout, for attention, for content. I think this is really not a good idea. I think you're going to see other people look at this and think, well, I can do this. And, I know people are going to get upset with Strickland. I don't think this benefits Strickland at all either, because he's not a guy that's going to go easy on influencers like this. Again, he does not like influencers. So this is like the equivalent of like jumping in a lion's den. Like, what you're expecting here. But this guy doesn't care. He's willing to take whatever health risks he needs to take in this, brief sparring clip that we see here. Just to get some content. And I think this is a really bad idea. Now, the worst part is you got to read the comments here. These are even worse. So you got people here, Steiny saying respect. We've got people on here saying, props to the guy being brave enough to get in there. I don't think this guy deserves props. This is just idiotic. You're going in there, taking brain damage, getting your ass kicked because you want to film some content and be like, I was in there. You know what I would have more respect for? Someone that actually trains, that is actually, put the time in, put the effort in, and then maybe after decided to spar Sean Strickland. But that's never a good idea. And again, Sean doesn't come good out of this either, because people are going to say, why are you picking on a guy that's much smaller? What people need to realize is Sean doesn't like these people. Imagine people you don't like, and they're basically coming to your front door and they're inviting you to basically kick their ass. So I understand it from Sean's perspective. If I was Sean, I wouldn't do that. I would kind of go easy on these guys. But the thing that I don't like about this is that you see people, like I said, like this comment here, and other people basically saying like, oh, good job, excellent job, you survived, man, respect. I don't have any respect for people who just stand there and get their ass kicked. What's respectful about that? That to me is really silly. And then the other thing too is you got people in the comments being like, well, Strickland didn't finish him. He sucks. He's not very good. You know what would happen if Sean Strickland actually beat this guy down and really, went at him? Because he could have finished this guy. This guy was basically defenseless. Look at this. I mean, we'll look at it again a little bit here. Not once do you see him throw or do anything. He's turtling the whole time. He's running away. Strickland is punching him as he's running away. There's nothing honorable about this. And the problem is that you got all these new people out there, newer MMA fans, newer, content fans and all that think this is like a cool thing to do. And there's going to be someone else trying to do this. And whether it's Strickland or someone else, they're going to do it and they're going to get seriously hurt. And I hate to be the old man on the lawn and be like, oh, this isn't safe, but it isn't. This is stupid. I don't even think this is good content, but people watching this are going to, give props to the YouTuber because, hey, he got in there and did it. But I honestly think, like, if you want to show that you're like a man and you're really good at this stuff, actually train the sport, learn something about it. Again, I don't know if he has any combat sports experience, but if you're just sitting there and turtling and running away from a fight like this, that tells me you don't have much experience at all. So again, I think this is a bad look all around. It's a bad look for the YouTuber, giving the impression that, oh, anyone can do this. And it's bad for Strickland too, because you're just beating up a defenseless person and it's only going to get people to not like Strickland more. Maybe Strickland's getting some of his fans. Maybe that's his idea. They did have a post after where they're hanging out and, there's a new duo in town. Great. Good job, dude. You got your ass kicked. I don't have any respect for that at all. I think that's like, I'd have more respect if the guy trained, then tried his hand at this, but you're basically going in there and being a punching bag and taking unnecessary damage. And, glad you didn't get seriously hurt, man. Accidents happen. I mean, Strickland could have hurt him, like way worse than what he did. I don't know what this, I mean, you look at his face, he didn't look too beat up, but someone's going to do this to the wrong person, and it's not going to end up ending well. And you're going to have people that are trying to copy this because they're like, I got to get content. I got to get clout. That's all this is. It's content and clout. And I don't think it's worth the squeeze, so to speak, for guys doing this. And look, I've seen other people do similar stuff like this. I remember Poppy Gio, the influencer, he did something with Josh Emmett, but it was kind of a bit more fake. I know he did a bit of sparring with Alex Pereira where his nose got bloodied, but that's not something where he's getting seriously hurt. If you're going in the lines then with Strickland, it's going to end up bad for both of these people here. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on this. I don't like this stuff. I think it's, again, you're going to get copycats trying to do the same thing and get seriously hurt. And I just don't think it's worth the squeeze for anyone to do this. I don't think this is good for anyone. And yeah, I'll be the old man on the lawn in this video, but I don't like this stuff. You guys let me know in the comments what you think of this. I'm not a fan of YouTubers going in there and getting their ass kicked. I have a lot more respect for people who actually go and train the sport, take the time, learn everything they do. I hope that Nick goes in there after this and does actually learn how to fight. But, you know, going in there and being a punching bag and trying to tell other people, like, you can do it too. I know that's not what he's saying, but there's people watching this going like, oh, well, he could get his ass kicked. I could probably do this too. I don't have any respect for that. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, @Lynch on Sports. My name is James Lynch. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.